The dawn broke softly over the monastery. Mist floated like ghosts between the stone pillars, and bells rang in distant harmony. A young monk named Ananda sat by the edge of the courtyard, his head lowered, eyes clouded by doubt. For weeks, his teacher's words echoed in his heart. Perfection is not your path. Truth is. But Ananda couldn't understand. Every time he stumbled in meditation or lost patience, guilt filled his chest like heavy stones. He believed holiness meant flawlessness, and he was far from it. That morning, while sweeping fallen leaves, he saw his reflection in a cracked water bowl. The bowl was still used for offerings despite its fracture. "Why not replace it?" he murmured. An elder monk passing by smiled gently. "Because even the cracked bowl still holds water," he said, and walked away. Ananda stood frozen. The words lingered like incense smoke. Could it be that imperfection wasn't failure, but part of the offering itself? That night, Ananda couldn't sleep. He took the cracked bowl from the altar and placed it before his lamp. The flickering flame danced across its fracture, creating veins of gold light. He remembered when he first arrived, how eager he was to impress his teacher, to master silence, to be perfect in every ritual. But the more he tried, the more his mind rebelled. Every thought of failure became a punishment. He touched the crack gently, feeling its roughness. "Why does it bother me so much?" he whispered. Then a memory surfaced, his childhood. His father once broke a vase and repaired it with golden resin, saying, "The break makes it stronger." It carries a story now. Ananda smiled faintly. Perhaps this bowl carried its story too, a story of service, not flawlessness. Outside, the wind brushed through bamboo leaves, whispering like an unseen teacher. The wound is where the light enters. The next morning, Ananda joined the monks for meditation. Yet his mind was restless. He kept seeing the bowl, its imperfection, its silent lesson. His teacher, the venerable Bhante Sariya, noticed. After the session, he said quietly, "You cannot silence the mind by force, Ananda. You must listen to it, as you would to a crying child." Those words pierced deeper than any mantra. That evening, Ananda went to the riverbank and sat beneath the old Bodhi tree. The reflection of the sky rippled on the water's surface, beautiful, yet never still. He realized that perfection was like chasing a reflection. The harder he reached, the more it scattered. He closed his eyes and breathed slowly. "May I be patient with my own heart," he whispered. For the first time, he felt no need to correct his breath, no urge to chase serenity. He simply was. Later that week, Ananda found Bhante Sariya tending a garden. The old monk was pruning wilted flowers with serene care. "Master," Ananda said softly, "how do you stay so calm even when things die or decay?" Sariya smiled. "Because I see beauty in the process, not just the result. Look here." He pointed to a dying lotus. "This will fade today, but its decay feeds the soil for new blossoms. Even imperfection serves the whole." Ananda listened in silence. The teacher added, "We are not meant to be flawless sculptures. We are living clay, always reshaped by time and kindness." That evening, Ananda watched petals fall into the pond, each one floating gently, unafraid of where it would drift. He began to understand. Peace was not the absence of cracks, but the acceptance of them. But enlightenment doesn't come easily. Days later, Ananda faced frustration again. During meditation, thoughts surged like thunderclouds. His mind shouted, "You'll never be pure enough. You'll always fail." He clenched his fists, ashamed. After the session, he fled to the woods, rain beginning to fall. Lightning split the sky, and he cried out, "Why am I still broken?" Thunder answered with silence. Then, through the rain, he heard soft footsteps. His teacher had followed him. Bandy Surya placed a hand on his shoulder. "Even rain must fall before the sky clears," he said gently. "Do not fight your storms. Let them wash through you." As they stood in the downpour, Ananda wept, not from sorrow, but from release. Days passed, and peace slowly returned. Ananda began to notice others' struggles: the novice who spilled rice, the old monk who limped, the cook who burned the soup. Before, he might have judged them, but now he smiled with understanding. He began helping quietly, without needing recognition. One morning, he found the cracked bowl again and placed it by the window. Sunlight poured through its flaw, casting a beam of light across the room. In that moment, he saw the bowl didn't hide its imperfection, it transformed it. He whispered, "If I can accept others' flaws, perhaps I can accept my own." Months later, the monks set out on a pilgrimage to offer teachings in nearby villages. Along the dusty road, Ananda carried supplies and the old cracked bowl. They stopped in a poor village where people struggled with sickness and hunger. Instead of preaching perfection, Ananda sat among them, listening. A child pointed at his bowl and laughed. "It's broken." Ananda smiled. "Yes, but it still holds enough water to share." He poured water into the child's cup, both laughing together. That night, as the stars shimmered, he realized, perhaps one's value lies not in being whole, but in being useful despite the cracks. When Ananda returned, the monastery felt different, or perhaps he did. He saw beauty in the chipped walls, the uneven steps, the laughter of imperfect brothers. Banty Surya greeted him with a nod. "You've learned well," he said. Ananda bowed deeply. "Master, I thought enlightenment was a mountain to climb, but it seems it's the path itself." Surya smiled. "And the cracks in that path. Let the light in." That evening, the cracked bowl was placed back on the altar, not as a flaw, but as a symbol of wholeness through imperfection. Months later, during a quiet dawn meditation, Ananda's mind became still like never before. He no longer tried to silence his thoughts or perfect his breath. He simply observed the warmth of life, flowing through every imperfection. He felt unity between himself, the wind, the earth, even the cracked bowl beside him. He realized the universe itself was not flawless, yet it was complete. Tears welled in his eyes, not from sorrow, but gratitude. He whispered, "Thank you for letting me be imperfectly alive." Years passed. The young monk became a teacher himself. He often began his teachings not with scripture, but with a simple act, showing the cracked bowl. "See this?" he would say. "It's been broken, but it still serves, just like us." His students listened with quiet awe. One day, he placed the bowl under the sun, and the light poured through its fractures, scattering gold across the floor. He smiled. Perfection blinds us, but imperfection lets the light through. The camera lingers on his peaceful face, the bowl's glow merging with the sunlight, until the scene fades to white.